We love a Monstera girly who's so big she now fits in frame. Like, wow, this is a thing. Okay, and I'll show you the Monstera, but you can't make fun of how I've attached her to the moss poles. I tried my best, okay? I'm really trying, but like, look at this. Look at this girly. Oh my gosh. Gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Anywho. I just put her more in front. That's okay. This is the vibe we're going for. Anyways, I have been wanting to make this since Valentine's Day. Before Valentine's Day, I wanted to do this the week of Valentine's Day. That was my original plan. It is now May, and I am dreading filming this for a very specific reason, and that is because I don't have a camera that works. I gave up on my camera. I actually can't even find it. I don't know where I put it, and I'm gonna need the memory card from it because to transfer to a new camera, which I can't invest into a new camera for another 3 or 4 months because I instead decided to buy a new computer. And due to the fact that I don't have a camera, I have zero motivation to read because the process of transferring from my phone to my computer to edit, because I refuse to edit on my computer or on my phone, it's not happening. I need the big space. I need to be able to see everything. And editing on my new computer will probably be better, but the process of moving everything from my phone to my computer is just the worst thing. I hate it. I hate it so much. And due to that fact, I have not been reading. And I might set up something just to like help me out because the camera that I want is $1,000 and I can't afford that literally for 3 or 4 months. There's too much going on this summer, too many things happening that it is just sad. Anyways, so I've been wanting to film this for a really long time, but I haven't because I literally have no motivation to film on my phone. It's the worst possible thing. I hate it so much. Which is also why I look like garbage because my life is in shambles. I want to film YouTube so bad and I want to have so many vlogs and I want, like, there's so many things I'm in the middle of for YouTube that I just like zero motivation because the process of filming and editing and everything is the worst possible thing that I could do. I hate it so much. You have no fucking idea. It is garbage transferring everything and waiting, and then half the time the video doesn't even upload and then I'm waiting even longer, and it literally could take 2 hours for one video to go from my phone, from iCloud.com onto my computer, and it's just the saddest experience of my life. So I have not been doing that, and that's my reasoning. But I really want to film the video for Ice Planet and Barbarians. I recently read a book called Mannix by Grace McGinty, and I met Grace and it was great. And then I read the second book, which was called Frenzy, and I am very motivated to read all of Grace's books now. This is one of my new favorite authors. Frenzy opened up her whole entire universe. One of them called Newly Undead and Dark River, that quartet that she has, and that character was in there. And I also think the one that I have over here that I bought a physical copy of is called something Eden Academy books. I don't remember the first one. Rebels and Runaways, I think is what it's called. I think those characters also were in Frenzy. So open universe, all of her characters exist in the same world, and I was like, and I did start Newly Undead in a Dark River, and I was like, I don't know if I'm into this, but I am into it after I read Frenzy. So I gotta get back and read that. But anyways, Mannix started this thing that was like, I think I'm into monster erotica, which I never thought I would admit out loud, let alone put out on YouTube for everybody to know. But, and we all know fantasy romance is where it's at, but stepping it up a notch and just focusing on the romance stuff and not the fantasy part, maybe that's what I'm into. I don't know. So why not we just go to the monster erotica itself and read Ice Planet Barbarians? And yeah, that's the intro of this video. I have the first book. This is the only one I have. I've had it for ages now. They are re-releasing all the books in special editions, and I like the covers. I think they look interesting. I do know a few things about this. They're abducted by aliens. The aliens choose them as their mates. Their dick makes noises. That's about as much as I know, okay? And now that's what you know. But we will go through this together. It's not even that long. I honestly could read this in a day, probably. It's the author's note. Officially, this copy is 305 pages. So I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I probably will hate it. We're gonna do it anyways because this is a weirdly nice cover. Who knows? Maybe I'll just think it's amazing and power through it like nobody's business. Because that seems to be the thing. I think I'm going into my romance era because, or erotica era in general, because I've been just devouring romance books. I went to a romance book signing, and let me tell you, the books, the authors with those books, I've just been speed reading them, okay? And I'm not used to that, okay? Mafia romance? Like, who am I? I hope I'm not completely moving on just from the fantasy genre or the YA genre, because I still love it very much, but I am in the erotica part of my life. Here we are. Okay, first update. I'm on page 39. I just finished page 39. It's technically chapter 2. So we've had Jordy's point of view and we've had Vektal's point of view. I think is how you say his name, Vektal. And the end of his point of view is garbage. It is so... I hate it. I hate it so much. Okay, this is full spoilers ahead, okay? This is your only warning. So Georgie's point of view basically was being abducted by aliens and then watching people get raped when they scream and all this other stuff, and then the aliens like had engine trouble and had to lose like the cargo, and she's the cargo because they were gonna sell all these girls that they had abducted from Earth, and they landed and then they needed provisions, and so Georgie, as the unofficial leader, who they then officially deemed the leader, was like, all right, I have to go out and get provisions or whatever, or find help or anything at all, like stuff to even fucking build a fire, because the ship is made of metal, there's no wood, and they can't do anything like that. Anyways, so big brain energy, and she got trapped in like an actual trap, like a snare. And of course the blue alien guy, Vektal or whatever, found her when she passed out and takes her to a cave, and it's like, oh my god, my inner beast says this is my mate, whatever this thing is, and undresses her so that she can get warm into the fire, next to the fire or whatever, and then proceeds to think that her little tuft between her thighs is really funny. And that's the only place she has hair, and it's really funny other than like her head. And then he gets super horny and puts his face between her legs while she's passed out, almost dying. I hate this so much. What? But this is what it says. This is, I bury my face between her legs so I can taste all of her. First of all, I don't like the dual POV right now. And there's probably multiple POV, but like, excuse me? I just turned to the page, so that was my live reaction, but pretty sure I'm dreaming. Maybe that's all this is, one big bad dream. She's moaning because he's eating her out while she's passed out. I'm gonna read another chapter and then I'm going to bed, because what the fuck? I should just go to bed now. This is just send help. Okay, our girl did not have a normal response to waking up and finding a blue alien eating her out. But once she finished, she's fighting. I knew this was gonna be bad, but I didn't think it was waking up to a guy eating you out bad. I'm questioning my life choices. If you're ever curious to what a blue alien penis looks like, turn to page 72. And just read page 72 and a little bit of 73, and you'll get it. There is a horn-like thing that's almost like a dildo or a vibrator with like the extra little bit for your clitoris, but it's a horn. It's weird because he saw her clitoris and was like, what is this third nipple down here? And wow, how convenient. There's just like a spot for your clitoris. I need to go to bed. Ooh, there's like a little moisture. I read last night till chapter 131, and I don't know if I've said this before, but I am a sucker for true mates. That's like one of the tropes that I'm like, oh yeah. This is great. That's why I love A Court of Thorns and Roses and stuff like that. I am a sucker for true mates. But also, I'm also like, so yes, he's very sweet. He's like, I'll do whatever she wants to be happy. So they went up the mountain and they found the other people like her because he realized, oh my god, there's more of her. Like, we need to find her people, which was very nice. And he's taking care of her and she's like, oh, he's taking care of me. And I'm like, this is so cute for a blue alien, sure. But also part of me is like, the first little bit of that book really focused on the fact that they had nowhere to poo with this bucket and how like undignifying it was. And like, honestly, probably should have been constipated on the food diets they were on with that seaweed stuff and water only. Like, I would have been hella constipated. What are you talking about? That's a problem that I had with. But also, after she throws the bucket, fails miserably but tries to, and then they get off the boat and she just smells like poop the whole time. After that, there is no mention of anything. How are you pooping in this world? Oh, I shouldn't have put this on. This is, why am I putting on my nighttime routine stuff? It's 6 o'clock in the morning. Anyways, that is melatonin and you should not be wearing that to work. Oh my god. I put on my nighttime skincare. Oh my god. As you can see, I'm very fucking tired. Anyways, after she gets off and doesn't poop in a bucket anymore, it doesn't talk about her pooping at all. And I'm very interested to know because she made such a big deal about it. Why can't we still make a big deal about it like 50 pages later? Like, how is she pooping with this guy? Where are the bathrooms for this guy? How's he pooping? I want to know. I mean, they've already had sex, okay? Her people are dying in a spaceship on a hill, and they've already had sex. I feel like, I don't know, there's still the people in the tubes though, and they haven't brought those up. And I want to know if they're gonna release them. There are apparently 21 books in this series, so are we gonna learn about them or what? You know? Very intrigued. I will be bringing it to work. I will be leaving it in my car because I have lunch in my car and I want to keep reading it, but I do have to go to work like right now. So I officially finished it. Technically, there's a whole ass short story in the back, but the short story takes place after the second book, and it says it's technically finishing Georgie and Vektal's main story, but it happens after the second book, so I won't be reading it until I read the second book, which will happen. Yeah, I'll make a vlog for it. I'll make a vlog for it because, oh my god, I have so many thoughts. The thing that helps keep them alive on the planet, there's a whole plot. They can't actually survive on the planet because something in the atmosphere is toxic, and it's not like an element that's been discovered yet because it doesn't exist on Earth. And they learned this through the spaceship that brought Vektal's people to the planet, which he doesn't even know. He's like, we came out of this cave. Yeah, the cave is a spaceship. It's a weird plot point, sure, whatever. And then they have to put this worm thingy, and he's like, it will go best in your neck. Opens her collarbone. Bro, she already has a wound on her arm. Why didn't you just put it there? That blew my mind. Also, why did we make such a big deal about pooping on the spaceship and then not talk about it again until like 10 pages before the book was done? That she brought it up. She's like, oh, they don't have toilets here. And I'm like, why? What happened to pooping in the cave? What I wanted to know. You made it such a big plot point in the first bit where you're like, oh, I don't want to poop in the bucket on the spaceship, and now you refuse to bring it up again. Okay, just still irking me. I feel like I mentioned it before, but I'm mentioning it again because it bothered me. Their dicks don't make an E noise. They do vibrate with the worm that lives in their heart that keeps them alive. That's a thing. I don't know why there's a spear on here because she decides to not become a hunter. There's nothing mentioned about the pregnancy thing, which I would like more elaboration on because I hate the pregnancy trope, but I want to know how this is gonna work, you know? I feel like that's something that will be explored later on because there are so many books in this universe. It's not even fucking funny. I don't know. It wasn't terrible. I did not give it a star rating. I feel weird star rating these things because my star rating system does not pertain to monster erotica because I only just got into it. So now I feel like I have to read enough monster erotica to develop a system for rating monster erotica, because all of mine is basically romance and fantasy based and YA based. Like, this isn't in there, so I have not given it a rating. I would say maybe it's about a 3-star, kind of where I'm sitting. It's not written great, but it's also not written terrible, and it's super fucking weird. That nub thingy, and if he said the C word one more time, I was gonna lose my mind, okay? Yeah. There's an exclusive epilogue. Okay, so that is, yeah, this is an expanded edition. I will go out and purchase the next one. I am ready to read it, because I did read this in 2 days. I'm not regretting my life choices. I didn't hate it. Am I weird for saying that? Who knows? Maybe I just need to read more in this genre. More aliens and romance and shit like that. To really say, I will not be taking suggestions, okay? I'm not, I don't want to read any weird things like, oh, I'm in love with COVID-19. Oh, I'm in love with whatever the fuck those weird Kindle books are that people advertise on Twitter. I'm not doing that. No, we're gonna just figure out whatever's around and move on from there, and I will discover it in my own time. Please don't give me the weirdest fucking books to read, okay? I can't handle it. I do want to read the short story in here, but I don't want to read it until I get there. Anyways, there's like a whole thing in here too that tells you how to pronounce things. Hunters, elders, the dead. Wild. Anyways, so I don't know. Conclusion for Ice Planet Barbarians, not the worst thing I've ever read, okay? I used to read one Wattpad back in the day, okay? When it was at its peak of garbage. I was there in full swing reading it all. So it's not the worst thing I've ever read. It's not Midnight Sun. Interesting. It gets a little less cringy as it goes, and like they rescue people, and I'm like, okay, I can handle this. Yeah, that's fine. I don't think the blue aliens are hot though. Not a chance. That's my verdict. Thanks for coming to this video. I hope it was entertaining. I hope I got all my thoughts out. Watch me think of something like 5 minutes after I finish this, but that was pretty much it for this. Let me know if you want to see more, if this was enjoyable at all, because what the fuck. There was one part I wanted to highlight something. Oh, that's what it was. Here, one more thing. There was a point where she brings all the hunters to go rescue her friends or the other women she got kidnapped with, and one of them starts resonating, so he starts vibrating because he's like, oh, my mate is here. And she whips around, she's like, who did that? Stop it! And I was like, honestly, iconic. I loved her for that. Like, go Georgie. It was just like hilarious. And then like nobody admitted it to it. And Bechdel was like, what the fuck? Who is it? Who did it? And that just, it made me giggle, and I'm like, haha, go Georgie. What an iconic queen for that moment alone, specifically. Good times. Anyway, that was like my favorite part of the whole thing. Who is it? But yeah, thanks for coming to the video. I hope it was enjoyable. I hope you learned something, and we will continue it later. I'll get the next one eventually and read it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!